What if Delsin rowe was in Ben 10 Part 2? Hello, this is Phantom Lightning here, and I'ma say that Kevin, no, Delsin would teach Kevin to, to control his abilities, which are that, which are similar to Delsin's, in that he can basically absorb materials and energy. As I'ma say that Kevin, no, I'ma say Delsin lets Kevin absorb some of his conduit abilities. So now Kevin can use lightning. Can use lightning construct. No. He can use all of Delsin's powers. Yeah. So he can use all of Delsin's powers. And Delsin would help, and then Delsin would help Kevin to learn and master these abilities. As yeah. As I'ma say that 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 Delsin would give Kevin a similar jacket to his, but the jacket is black. Is black and purple. Yeah. Kevin's jacket is black. Is dark black and purple. And he would have a black beanie on, because Kevin looks up to Delsin. And I'ma say that Kevin creates / mimics Delsin's ability, and Kevin creates a chain out of neon, and he did the same with lightning. Yeah, with lightning, neon, video, concrete, and no, he just makes chains out of no, yeah, he just makes chains out of his neon. Yeah. He makes chains out of his neon, his concrete, his lightning, his smoke, and his video. And I'ma also see that Delsin gives Kevin a chain, but the chain is a lot longer, and these chains are on both of Kevin's arms. Yeah. 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 Also, I'm gonna say that Kevin would be just spray painting graffiti when when he is kidnapped by a conduit. Yeah, a conduit. Yeah. And this conduit's ability is plant. So the conduit would basically put Kevin under a to sleep and kidnap him. And Kevin is transported to a cell, and Kevin would say, "What the hell?" As Kevin would say, "What the hell? How did I end up in this prison cell? Where am I?" And the prison cell would look like this. Yeah. As Kevin's prison cell would basically look like this. Yeah. Yeah. His prison cell would look like this, but with a lot more canvas. And he has a collar on. So Kevin would try to use his abilities, but he would find out that this collar on prevents that. And Kevin says, "Damn it. How do I get out of here? I need to get back to Delsin." As, yeah. As I'ma say that Delsin would just be on his phone, sitting on his concrete throne, and playing video games on his phone when he senses something wrong. And that's where he would be attacked by the plant conduit, as he would say. So, you must be the famous Delsin Rowe, I presume. And Delsin says, yeah, who the hell is asking? As the man would say, I am, and I have your little friend. As then Delsin would put his phone in his pocket, as he would say, where is he? Where is Kevin 11? As the masked man, which I'm gonna call him Daiko would say, if you want to find him, then you would have to follow me. As then Delsin would say, okay. As Delsin would follow him back to the facility, and I'm gonna say that as then Delsin would enter the facility, and he would go into the cell, and he would see Kevin, and then Delsin would start screaming and banging on a glass, as the man would say, he cannot hear you or see you. And then Delsin says, let him go now, or I kill you my damn self. As then the man would say, you would not want to do that, Mr. Rowe. And then Delsin would say, why not? And then Daiko would say, because I planted a bomb on the collar when the boy was asleep. So if you try to break him out or try to kill me, and as Daiko would say, if you try to kill me or if you try to get the boy free, my men here will activate the bomb, killing the boy in the process. As Kevin would say, no! Damn you, bastard! As then Delsin would say, what do you want? As then Daiko would say, all I want is the Omnitrix. As then Ben would say, as then Delsin would say, yeah, the Omnitrix, I heard of it. So you want to use it for evil purposes? Or an evil mastermind plan? Is that it? Is that why I went to watch so much? As Daiko would say, yes. As then Daiko would say, yes. As then Daiko would start walking away. As Daiko would say, Oh yeah, by the name. By the way, my name is Daiko. As he would, as Daiko would say, and I am a plant conduit. As then Delsin would say, what really? As Daiko would say, yes, I escaped Augustine's prison, and I ended up here and started my own facility. As then Delsin would say, I don't give a damn. Let the boy go now. He's precious to me. As Daiko would say, the only way you can save the boy is if you bring me the Amatrix. And then Delsin would say, you know I can't do that. That boy is good friends with Ben, and I can't betray the trust like that. And I can't betray the trust like that. And then Daiko would say, I don't care, get me the Amatrix or he dies. And then Delsin would say, okay, I get you the Amatrix. As Daiko would say, good. As Delsin would walk out of the facility, as he would stick up the middle finger, saying, fuck you, fuck your facility, fuck what you're doing to my friend, my student, and fuck you, Daiko. As after this, Delsin would oh yeah. So after this, Delsin yeah. So after this, Delsin would have made 2 phone calls, and these phone calls are to Fetch and Eugene. And his brother. And his brother Reggie. So I'm gonna say that Delsin would take a plane all the way back to Seattle to meet up with Reggie, Eugene, and Fetch. As I'ma say, so after Delsin gets off the plane, he heads straight to his and Reggie's house. And when Delsin opens the door, he is met with concern and confusion by Reggie, Eugene, and Fetch. As they would say, as all of them would say, Delsin, what's going on? And then Delsin would say, they have him. They have the kid. That bastard Daiko has my student. As Fetch, Hank, and Eugene would be confused saying, student, what? And yeah. So Delsin would basically catch up would basically catch he would Delsin would basically tell them what's going on, and they are shocked by this, and Delsin would say, I'm so mad right now, as Delsin would kick the couch, but Delsin would say, oops, sorry, as a Brett, Fetch's brother, would say, really, Delsin? Really? I was sleeping. And then Delsin would say, sorry, man. I'm just mad and confused. I don't know what to do. As then Brett would say, okay, what's happening? As Fetch would explain to Brett what happened, and Brett would say, oh my god, that's awful. So what are you gonna do? And then Reggie says to Delsin, think rational and not stupid. Okay? And then Delsin would say, okay, Reggie, I think rational and not stupid. But I know that I can't betray the Tennyson family's trust because they're nice people. And Ben and Kevin remind me of myself when I was younger. And I don't want to let them down. So Jane would say, so Delsin, what are you gonna do? And then Delsin would say, well, I'm gonna get some help from my friends. As then Delsin would say, I have oh yeah. Don't. As then Delsin would say, I have a foolproof plan, but for that. Oh yeah. But then Delsin says, for my plan to work, I'm going to need, we are going to need 5 DUP uniforms, and I am going to pretend to be dead as as Reggie is shocked by the sand. Delsin, what kind of plan is that? We are here to rescue the boy, not endanger his life. And then Delsin says, I know, but for this plan to work, I need all of you guys to trust me. And then Delsin says, so do y'all trust me? And then Fetch, Brett, Reggie, and Eugene would say, yes, Delsin, we trust you. And then Delsin would say, alright then. And then Delsin would say, alright then, so let's get to work. As that's where I'm going to be ending. Part 2 of here. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Phantom Lightning here signing out. Goodbye.